What is up, my friends? Lauren Sisler here with AL.com. Happy Sunday to you all. Happy March Madness. It is on. The Sweet 16 going down tonight. Alabama, the number 2 seed versus the number 11 seed UCLA. And we're talking with Michael Casagrande to preview this game. The Alabama pregame show brought to you by Inline Lighting. Hi, Michael. How are you? It looks like you got a little something going on to the other side of your shoulder there. Got a little something back there. Are you a Peloton man?
They're not a sponsor, so we don't need to give them any free advertising.
That's true, right? Hey, but you gotta have the lights on to get going when we do the pregame show. You gotta have the good lighting. You always look good, Michael. Good job. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna get right into this. Cos, we are just about an hour away from tip-off on TBS. Alabama, UCLA. You've been covering this team from jump, right? From tip-off. And I'd like to know from you, just now that we're here in the Sweet 16, was this a team that you personally thought would get this far in the tournament? Did you think they had a chance based on what they had on their roster?
November? I don't think so. I mean, I've been covering this team pretty much every year since 2009, and it's never, it's been a program that's kind of struggled to get over that hump. So you knew there was talent coming back, and you knew they had the opportunity to do some things, but whether or not they could fully put it together, I mean, they've had talent in the past. They've had NBA level talent, obviously, first round picks, 2 lottery picks in the last 4 years, and this wasn't a program that was threatening to go to the second weekend of the tournament at any point. So, I think they've overachieved from where I thought they would have been. Maybe I'm just jaded because I've been covering them for a while and just seen them kind of struggle February into March. So, but I think there was a certain point in the season that the LSU win on the road. I think there were some signs that were showing that this was a team that could do some things, that had the different components, the ability, the shooting, the defense, all the things coming together that could do this. But until you see it happen, until you see them navigate those waters that have been so struggling, that have troubled them so much, I think it was, I had to wait to believe it to see it.
Yeah, let's dig into this matchup a little bit. The Sweet 16 matchup kind of been a little bit unique in this East region. Perhaps maybe the least chaotic of the regions, not as eventful, a little more uneventful in terms of the upset, so to speak. And we've seen quite a bit of those during this tournament. So things have been quite a bit different. You go up against a UCLA team. This is a team that had to play in after losing 4 straight. They've now won 3 straight. They played in with that first 4 matchup to get here. I guess you could say they had a relatively easy path to this point in time in the tournament. They get their main guy back, Jazang, and then, of course, Cody Riley, another big guy that has certainly provided a lot of production for them. Just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on UCLA and how they match up with this Alabama team, who is really and truly playing some of their best basketball and really an offensive powerhouse.
All true.
Where I was going with that.
All true. Yeah, they're a firehouse. UCLA, they're a team that was struggling for a while. They were a first 4 team. They were a team that had to win that Thursday just to get into the first round against Michigan State. So as an 11 seed, that's, they were probably one of the last teams in the tournament overall. So I guess they've had to, in a sense, upset their way to get here. They're still, it's UCLA. It's hard to say that there's some sort of underdog, scrappy, character who came out of nowhere. It's still UCLA is still a program, even though it's been a while since they've been, the 70s, 80s when they were, the powerhouse. But in terms of style,
firehouse,
they haven't been a firehouse as maybe they had been in the one time.
Oh goodness!
But they're a team that's different from Alabama. It's what I think is going to be interesting to see is who can dictate the pace. I think that's going to be huge because UCLA wants to slow it down. They don't want to not in any hurry. They want to take a long time in the shot clock. Alabama, obviously, they can't shoot it fast enough. So if it gets into a slow it down game in the 50s, that's going to be more toward UCLA's liking. They're a very efficient team. They score, I had a story this morning about it. They score one of the top 20 teams in terms of efficiency and scoring. They don't have as many possessions, but they make the most out of them. They don't turn the ball over. So it's kind of thing that if Alabama, there are two different styles. If Alabama can get them moving faster and get up and down the court, wear them out, I think that's definitely what they would choose to do.
Yeah, and I think what makes Alabama obviously so difficult, we know their versatility is tremendous. They get a lot of points off the bench. They have weapons all over the place. We said this before, there's no real, guy you point to that says, man, he's carrying this team on their shoulders. They had injuries earlier in the season. They're at their healthiest. They've got the full rotation to work with. UCLA, on the other hand, does not. They've got Chris Smith, who's out right now. He was injured midway through the season. And then Jalen Hill has been out due to personal reasons. So I think those are two contributing factors that could certainly, hinder UCLA. And I think, too, if you look at sort of the body of work, Alabama struggled in the first round against Iona. Then they went off against Maryland. So you kind of saw two different teams. And I think that, I don't necessarily know that you have to have an Alabama team that is just going to, go off the hinges against this UCLA team, but definitely need a better performance than what they had against Iona. And I think that they'll do that. I think they're really carrying a lot of momentum. And they just seem like a team right now that can't be stopped, won't be stopped, don't want to be stopped, and are, playing some of their best. So again, I agree with you. I think the tempo, I guess I would ask you kind of as we close things out and get ready for this matchup, what is the biggest key for victory tonight for this Alabama team? What do you think they have to do really well to secure their spot in the Elite Eight?
I think it kind of what we just talked about, speeding things up, forcing the turnovers, getting some transition baskets, just moving the ball up and down the court. They're more of a traditional style team, bigger guys who aren't necessarily trying to run 94 feet every few seconds. So wear them out, get in some foul trouble, get them in foul trouble, get into the lane. And I think it will go from there if they can do that. Discipline on defense, that was something that the NATO has talked about, that they're going to have to defend longer than they're used to in these kind of up and down, quick, pace games. That it takes some discipline to play a half-court defense for 30 seconds of a shot clock and get that rebound so they don't get to reset it and do it all over again. So, UCLA is going to want to shorten this game. They're going to take long possessions. Alabama wants to, extend it. So I think so much of it is going to be the pace of play and who can dictate that. And like a point you were making before about, it's hard to stop them because there isn't just one guy you have to shut down or stop with Alabama. And that's, I think, with the point that Herbert Jones, the best, considered the best player in the conference in the SEC, was out for two of the biggest runs where they really blew away Maryland the other night, and he was on the bench. So that's kind of scary for other teams. You see that and know that they can have their, best player, best conference player out for long periods with foul trouble, and they take it to another level with him on the bench.
Yeah, no doubt. I think this is an Alabama team that brings it all. I think defense is going to be huge for them. They're going to have to shoot well from three, as they have been doing. And, of course, the rebounds on those misses are going to be important, as you mentioned there. So this game tipping off 6:15 and T-minus 1 hour and 1 minute. So we're looking forward to that on TBS. And it should be a good matchup. And, of course, we'll have the post-game recap for you to go over the matchup. Hopefully a win for Alabama fans. I know you're looking forward to that. Get the big dub. We'll see how it shakes out. We appreciate you, Michael. We appreciate you. Inline Lighting, we appreciate you. And all you fans out there, we appreciate you. We heart you.